The 35th Annual Country Jubilee. What can you say about an outdoor event set under the pines at Heritage Village, with tons of crafts to peruse, music, food, fun, and gorgeous Florida fall weather? Perfect, I'd say.
We could not have asked for a better day. We really couldn't have asked for a better day.
Rosemarie Kafer is event coordinator for the volunteer-driven Pinellas County Historical Society. She says the craft fair is the biggest fundraiser of the year.
The Historical Society, our main goal, of course, is to support Heritage Village. That's our mission, our sole mission as a 501. That's our only mission that we have, is to support Heritage Village. And we can't do it without volunteers. We cannot do it without volunteers.
And they also couldn't do it without the more than 125 craft vendors, delighting visitors young and old with every kind of trinket, bauble, or edible.
These are puppy biscuits.
Imaginable. 4 different flea markets complemented the craft offerings, while costume volunteers took folks back in time, delighting them with the smell of the smokehouse, the taste of raw sugar cane, and the sound of a cracking whip. Folks also got to experience a one-of-a-kind 120-year-old machine that used to run on mule power, but now runs on engine power, all to grind sugarcane. 29-year Heritage Village volunteer Ted Signer assembled the contraption he lovingly dubbed Sweet Success.
This is an art that's been lost by the pioneers. They couldn't go to Publix and buy sugar, so they made their own. And this is what we're doing today. We're making sugarcane syrup with it today. We squeeze the juice, we got the kettle running, and it's going to be a nice project. It'll be another year done. We'll be out here in January too, so if you have friends that are up north, send them down in January and they'll be here.
Ted and the Cane Gang boil down 45 gallons of juice into about 5 gallons of syrup most every year. Lifetime Largo resident Don Forehand has manned the gang and smokehouse for nearly 3 decades.
I mean, I've been doing it all these years, and it's just like going back to my childhood for one thing, but both of these things are something that's been done for centuries. It didn't just start 100 years ago or 50 years ago, but this old boiler is close to 150 years old, and that smokehouse is 130 years old.
And that's what Country Jubilee and Heritage Village is all about, connecting to the past.
We're trying to preserve that so that children can actually understand what it is to live in Pinellas County, to live in Florida.
I made it by weaving with a pom-pom.
And Country Jubilee is a tradition for the crafters as well, like the Moore family, who've been participating for close to 15 years. This year is very emotional for the sisters, who've taken over for their parents. Now that Mom is gone and Dad, Don Moore, is up in years, it's the end of an era. The last of their father's popular large wooden rocking horses is sold, and there won't be any more made.
The big horses are just too much for him to handle anymore. He can't. He goes out every morning in his shop, just like it's a job. And he works out there for probably, 4 hours, 5 hours a day. Exactly. It's a labor of love. He loves doing it. He's never charged a lot of money for it because he just wants people to enjoy it.
A labor of love for the crafters, a labor of love for the volunteers. Also, residents and visitors can connect the past with the present right here in Pinellas County. From Heritage Village, I'm Libby Bowling, inside Pinellas.